Well, welcome to the Smithy. Welcome back. Hey, Alexis, Adam, how you all doing? I was out sick last week. Honestly, about Saturday actually, I started feeling really run down. Maybe it was Friday even. I was starting to feel really run down, just super tired. I hadn't been sleeping well all that week, and I thought that was just that. I was just tired. And Monday rolls around and I start feeling worse. Ended up with, well, no, I take it back. Let me think how this went. I went into the office Monday. I was still tired, but I went into the office. Tuesday, went into the office. Wednesday, I basically stayed home. I was like, I still haven't gotten any decent sleep. I'm feeling run down. I don't feel safe getting in the car and driving. I can, doze off at my desk and I'm not hurting anybody. But if I, from home, if I doze off behind the wheel, that would be a bad thing. Morning, Jeff. And so I decided I'm not going into the office. I'll work from home. Well, the rest of the week became work from home week because I ended up coming down with the sniffles. My head became really, pained. Just got a bad cold. And so the rest of the week, I was feeling like crap. I felt like crap Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I started to feel, nope, I wasn't feeling good Thursday. Friday, I thought I was feeling better. Saturday, I was feeling better. Today, I'm here. So there you go. So if you don't know, I actually won last month's blacksmithing challenge that a group of us have that are in the channel and hanging out with me here today with an incense burner I made last month. You could have seen it at the last live stream I did. It was the last thing I did. That was a feather made of angle iron. And that came out, I was really proud of that. Came out really well. I don't know if I should have won it. Adam did an amazing thing with an acanthus leaf that I think the curl for holding the incense was better suited for. There's no real curly thing coming off of a feather, but I won it, so I got to decide what. Hey, Ben and Eric and Thomas, howdy. It's for this month, and they may never actually choose any of my stuff again to win because I challenged folks with something that I haven't seen too much of. I mean, that's a. I've seen enough of to know all of us could make something. And so I'm going to make, the challenge was make a toy. Make some sort of toy that you'd be happy to hand to a kid. A grandkid, your own kid, somebody else's kid, nibbling. But make a toy of some sort. Now, that came to mind for two reasons. One is that Kevin Stokes makes amazing toys. He's a blacksmith that hangs out here from time to time. He makes amazing toys for his grandkids, I think, nibblings maybe, that are these rails with ball bearings. And he's the only smith I know who regularly makes toys. But on the other hand, my memory did harken back to somebody who makes toys. Sort of. Let's call them toys. I think they're toys. And I'm going to attempt one of his toys next week. The channel you would want to go check out is called Let's Go. And he always, says, this is what we're going to make. Let's go. I'm going to attempt a vulture next week. My wife would love if I made a vulture for her. I'm going to attempt a vulture next week. But this week, I'm going to do something safe, something I know I can complete, probably even in the time we have here today. And that is, I'm going to make one of my snails. So, hey, Kevin, I was just talking about you. Hey, Rob. Well, we got a pretty full house. Daniel is in the house. Who else jumped in when I didn't see? Did I say hi to Jeff? I think I did. But if I didn't, I've said it again. It's a good crew here. Let's go ahead and... I've already had this thing heating up, so it'll take only a moment more to get the piece back to hot again. Now, I have seen Smiths create... Well, let's say that they're toys. I know as a kid I made one as a toy, but I made mine out of a tree branch, and that was a slingshot. So I threw that out there today. We've got a choppy video I'm hearing. Let me see. 25. Yeah, it's up and down, up and down. Here we go again. Where did I put my iPad? I put it over here. Let's put it over here. Well, I don't know what's going on with the signal today. AT&T's being stupid. They probably love it when I say that. Maybe it'll start catching up now, because the kilobits per second looks right now. So we'll see. Nope, dropped again. Great, that kind of day. What are you doing, iPad? Says I've got good signal. I don't know what it's up to. It's fully charged. There should be no reason why it should be giving me trouble. We'll watch it. Oh, you say it seemed to be better now. We'll see. Geomagnetic storm. Yeah, that is true. We are getting some pretty lights, aren't we? Yeah, if you make Gurdon Creek, that would be amazing. I honestly didn't know that's what it was called. I've seen them in old-timey pictures. Hardwire it to the satellite. That's a long wire. All right. Let's get things started with this. You know what I was wondering about? We were asking that question, Adam. You guys get southern lights? We get northern lights here, right? So do you get southern lights? So first thing we're going to do is start laying out some flat there, because we're going to need to, let's see if we can do this even. We're going to need to split off some antennae. Well, it's keeping it in place, but all right. Go ahead and get that back in the heat. And I just grabbed a scrap piece of stainless steel round bar to do this with, hoping that, you know, it'll look pretty when it's done. Ruh-roh. Phone got lost again. There we go. No, I'm over here. Hello. There you go. Aurora australis. That would be right. It sounds right. There you go. Australis. So now we know. Oh, you know what, Ben? Maybe next week I'll work. Now this week would have been a great week to take the pants off, go with the kilt instead. It's going to be back down to cool again. Tasmania is getting an amazing show at the moment, all the way up to Townsville. Wow. So now we know. I have to tell Christina. She was asking that. And I was like, well, I would assume so. I just don't know if it happens all at the same time or not. Sgan Doob. I don't know what that is. Not backwards, Ben. Upside down. All right. Stay there. Come here. That'll do for now. Back in the fire. I think it's time to put a plate under it. Dagger, stocking. Okay, yeah, a boot dirk. Okay. Backwards. Mark Roberts just did a piece on that. He debunked a bunch of interesting things, including the sinks and toilets progressing backwards. If you haven't figured it out yet, I spend a lot of time on YouTube educating myself on everything. And again, the camera lost me. When it works, it's cool. When it doesn't work, it's ridiculous. You're wearing clothes. Ah, now I can tell. You gave it away, Kevin. I'll be able to tell that from now on forward. I'm guessing it's because you had to take the wife out for Mother's Day breakfast. They prefer clothing. It's not clothing optional if you go out. Ski and do. Okay. See, I don't know how to pronounce any of that stuff. I have heritage in it, but none of my family, we're like third, fourth, fifth generation at this point. None of my family bothered to maintain any semblance of understanding of their heritage. I'm really surprised how well this holds round stock. There we go. Did I actually get through or not? That time I did. All right. We're through. There it is. And now I could start holding it upright and splitting it. I'll heat it up to do that. But we'll go over to the vise for that. We'll go here. We will do that, and we're going to do this, and voila. And now it's when it's going to lose me. It's going to hit that pole, and it's going to be confused. So that's okay. Right there. There we go. A Scottish snowmobile. Hey Jurgen, welcome to the party. My camera's confused, but that's not a surprise yet anymore. What's Keenan doing? All right. Turn off the noisemaker for a half minute here while I split some things out here. We're just going to go ahead and stick that there. Lock it in. and finish splitting this up a bit. There we go. Now, if I were really brilliant, I would already own a round fuller. And I'm going to need a round fuller for this. So, if I can get this done in a reasonable amount of time, I'll probably make a round fuller. So what I'm going to do instead for the moment is use a little square punch as if it were a round fuller. It's not the same thing at all. And I could see it doing some funny things in there. So we're going to get it back hot again. And that way, it'll do it the right way. Peekaboo. I never did switch. Dag nabbit. Big dummy. It's okay, I'll do it next time. Artificial intelligence, yeah. Dumb as a box of rocks. My face is not that captivating. We knew this. That is not news. Now the big problem here is I've got this heater here that needs to just go. But I had only realized if I took it out, everything would be all better about 10 minutes after I had set up all the equipment that would get in the way of me trying to get it out of here. So it's staying right where it is, and we just put up with it for one more week. And then at the end of this show, it's getting rolled somewhere else. It also doesn't like having the face be turned away and so forth. Yeah, the heater is captivating. Maybe I need to put a face on the top of my hat too, so when I do bend over. Well, Ben, you need to send me a mask of you. By my knees. I'll stop. I know where I was going with that. You might even know where I went with that, about where Ben's head needs to be, but, well, that's just rude. All right, let's try this again. We're going to go over there. Put that right in there. There we go. Just spreading them out now. There we go. Now at the anvil, I should be able to do it the rest of the way, I think. Just go ahead and set that there. And we'll move things back around again. I'm done with my little plate. I need to leave it sitting here right by the anvil. It can also be my upsetting plate. All right. For those moments where I just can't deal with situations and I'm very, very, very upset. Back there again. Say hello to the camera who doesn't know where I am, because it's back to being a dumb camera instead of a smart camera. There it is. There we go. We'll go ahead and swap again. I'm going to reposition my other camera. We're done there. I'm going to work over here instead. Don't think I need this anymore. And it actually followed me around the whole time. I'm surprised. That off, don't need that. Make a hat with your face on the top in the peaky yes, that would be awesome. Ben says, I am rude. How about that? I'm hoping people pay attention to the description of the chat of the video, because why would I be changing them if I don't? Attention of a 3-year-old. Hi, Auntie. Yeah, that's the sound of a gas forge. What can I tell you? Can't do anything about that except turn it off from time to time. Let's go ahead and switch over here. That's my Auntie Carol, my father's sister. Stay. Grab it better. Come over here. There we go. While it does look a little bit like a snail already, we really don't want it to curve like that yet. So back down to flat we go. Auntie, have you been able to see any of the northern lights? We've had them here, but I'm not a late night person, so getting to see them in real life for me is pretty challenging. Indeed, happy Mother's Day, Auntie Carol. Yeah, my best auntie. You know what? I'm not going to argue on that. Aunt Jean doesn't say auntie, so you are my best auntie. And I can't say that she's my best, but I guess that makes her my best aunt. Oh, thanks, Rob. Yeah, I don't think everybody's as happy about my winning, since it meant that now they're having to. They'll not vote for my stuff to win again. Yeah, we got gobblers going on. You can hear one goblin. So, in certain populations in the U.S., I'll just say it that way, they're called aunts. In other populations, they're called ants. Just like, yeah, the little bug. I won the honor of telling everybody what they should try to make this month. That's what I won, which, like I said, I may never win again, having been allowed to tell them what they have to make this month. Because this month, they have to make some sort of toy. Let's go to the anvil. And we're gonna start working this a lot smaller. That might be easier said than done. I might be better off splitting it even further to do anything with it. Or, yep, that's the answer. There we go. One at a time, at an angle that makes it easier to work. And with a hammer that would do the job better. There we go. Let's put it back in the fire. Use all the tools. Yep, I'm ineligible to win this month, and that's a good thing. That means I could just half-ass it the whole month. No, I'm kidding. My goal is to make at least 2 toys. Ah, yes, Auntie. So I won by making a feather out of a piece of angle iron. It's a very classic project. Some would say beginner level project for using angle iron. And I made the leaf into an incense burner. You know, one of the long trays to allow incense to fall off onto. And it came out beautifully. You can see it up on Facebook. And then I made the challenge for this month to be make a toy. Any toy, make a toy. You'd be happy to hand off to a kid or a grandkid. All right, let's start smoothing that. And then we'll do the other one. You can see where we're going with this. Honestly, Daniel, it wasn't so much a smaller hammer as I needed a peen, a straight peen or a cross peen of some sort, and a weight that I like to use regularly. I have this straight peen, which I don't mind using, but it definitely will tire a person. And that would be the best way to do it, because then I could just go across this way. Let me just try it. I haven't tried it in a while. Let me try it. But yeah. And flip it up. right. We'll keep going with this. It doesn't hold heat long enough for me to get really tired of using it. And I'm starting to think this isn't stainless steel just because it's not so hard as I think stainless steel usually is. But I could swear this is stainless steel. All right. There we go. I just realized I wasn't keeping the forge in frame. I mean, I'm quite a ways away from the main domicile. There's no alternative other than use a peen outside. So, what a quitter. All right, that was a wall of text. Let's see. Started making one of those knives the other day with my kid, Ulfbert. I'm not much of a knife maker, and I don't have any grinder finished yet, so we'll see how it goes, said Eric. Yeah, the stream replay always gets it. That's a good question. I have a magnet or 3 here. That'll tell me if it's stainless, right? Yep, it sticks to it. It's not stainless. Thanks for the reminder. So it's just more shiny than normal. Thought it worked too easily. Those who aren't blacksmiths watching this, I'm effectively squishing a piece of metal like you would a toothpaste tube. Pinching it front to back with the peen. This one's called a straight peen because it goes straight with the handle of the hammer, and a little bit of using the edge of the anvil to do the same thing. So it doesn't break my heart that it's not stainless, but it's not going to be as pretty as I was hoping it would be then. All right. Now, for the trickiest part of doing the antennae, I want to leave a blob on the end for the eyes. These are eye stalks, after all. My previous creations did not do that. So, I don't think he was naming his kid Ulfbert. I think he was saying to Ulfbert that he's making something for his kid. angry toilet in the background? That's what my auntie said, yeah. Okay, it's good to know that some stainless is a little magnetic. With a spray bottle. Yeah, that calms them right down. That's what it sounded like to me, Kevin. All right. Trying to round it with a peen, a straight peen, is not the easiest thing. But it is a really small area I'm working in right now, so we're trying. It's working. That does wear out a hand. Well, hey Tigger, you don't normally come out and visit me at in the Smithy. All right, back into the fire. So the funny thing is, as I'm thinking about what I'm doing here, I probably was a little hasty on working on the stalks, considering what I know I have next. And these stalks may end up coming right off, just right off, because I forgot there's a step in here. Completely forgot. Just where I have to forge weld this thing, or at least fold it back on itself. Hammer to do a bunch of rapid movement. I mean, that looks very snail-like. I'm very happy with how it's coming out. However, very heavy hammer to do it with. Real happy with that. All right. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to go to the part that I should have done to begin with. Flip it around. All right, so I've got to talk this one through for those who are playing the home game. I need a bunch of this for the purposes of creating my actual scroll that becomes the shell. And I plan on doing a conical shaped shell this time. What I think I'll do is taper the end so that it becomes the tippity top of the conical shell. But then, once that's tapered, I've got to basically guesstimate where up here I need to fold it back over on itself I probably should forge it flat before doing so that the edges line up neatly. Give it a little fluxing, make it stay clean. We're pretty clean at the moment anyway, so that might not be as necessary as I think. But let's get that tapered first. Hello, camera. Right here. Blacksmith's knife, Black Bear Forge. There you go. Scrolling back. Never clear only. Yeah, the forge welding, I know. Stainless, I don't know if stainless welds to itself or not. It definitely doesn't like to weld to anything else. My belt grinder is a cheap Sears, what is it? The wide belts, the 6-inch wide belts with also the disc sander on the side of it. So I don't ever plan on making really good knives. Yep, that's the way I feel too, Ben. I think that's what I just saw too, Dan. All right. Let's go here. Drop my... This isn't the hammer I want to use anyway. Let's go get my favorite hammer back out again. I'm just going to take a moment here to forge in the edges of this. So I don't roll it over. Then we'll go ahead and come on. Back into the fire. Wife wouldn't agree to naming the kid Ulfbert. Aww. If you keep it at a yellow heat, it doesn't have to be sharp. Continue my process here. Come on. That's it. Take it around. And that's snapping right off. We're going to go right over here and make it snap off. There we go. I got a really sharp edge of my handle at the tail. Snap it off on purpose. We don't need to make a thing that somebody can poke an eye out with anyway. All right, that's nice and round. Now we got to come back up in here, flatten a section here, and fold it over. I may end up, actually I'm going to end up tapering this better up into here, I think. Now I'm looking at what's what. Okay, back in the fire. It's hard to know dimensionality, right? You always see John Switzer being a real kind man, telling us all the exact dimensionality and stuff of things. And I'm coming to learn the only way you get to that exact dimensionality is having done a thing so many times, you've got a clue as to what your dimensionality is going to be, or you just tell people what you started with and wing it. Because as I'm looking at this thing, I started with, I don't know, a foot. So what is that? 25 times 12, 250. So 300 millimeters of round bar. Half-inch round bar. So 12 millimeter round bar. But if I were to reproduce it again, I would wing it again, whatever it is. That might not have been exactly a foot. That might have been 11 inches. It could have been 12 and a half inches. I don't know. What's important is that you keep modifying your effort as you go to adjust the parameters you see in your process. So right now it's looking like we're just making a really long snake. up our coloring. We'll keep on going. A little more of a taper going on. And Adam's breaking out the wisdom. Let me scroll back. Daniel's auto-corrupt. Stainless Damascus. I can't even imagine that's possible. Oxygen-free environment. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to know what you're going to do with that laser myself. Okay. Start with an aiming for dimension, knowing how your steel moves comes from experience, and marking your anvil helps. I basically taper all my points to the width of my anvil. From there, I measure things out. Yep, exactly. You get to know your space, you get to know what you're aiming for, and then you keep aiming that hammer to bring it to fourth. Too short in your forgings, okay. Keep moving this taper back. I don't need it to be aggressively tapered, so I'm not wailing on it. It needs to be a progressive taper. Because anybody that's looked at one of those conical snail shells knows a cone happens because it keeps wrapping around, bigger and bigger, literally as time goes on. All right, we're just about there. I think it's now just get a little more taper going all the way down, smooth it out, round it up. Hey Chrissy, how's it going? Hey Jossie, Jayla, nice to have you hanging out with me today. Double. A disturbance in the force. I don't think I owe you anything, Ben. Bigger by the golden mean. That is what it does seem like it. Yep. Let's continue this. Over here. There we go. Nice, nice. All right, time to round it up. Let's see if we can knock off some corners right now. Get her hot again. That's got all the corners knocked off. Now we can actually get them to the right dimension by getting them hot. All right, we're putting away the heavy hammer now. My arm's getting too sore for it. It's not needed at the moment. Gorfit, nice. Word of the day. Minnesotans have their own vocabulary, don't you know? No, it doesn't work. Uh-oh, Daniel's sinking. Square to octagon to round, right? That assumes you had flat sides to begin with. That side's looking a little lumpy bumpy. Let's smooth it out. All right. side of the octagon that didn't look quite right. That looks better. The Gorfit that lives next door? Okay. Yes, the protective padding on the backside of, well, the backside. The Gorfit. Everybody knows that. That'll wear a guy out. All that micro tapping. I think I'd rather just swing a hammer. Pretty close to round. Nothing a little rasping wouldn't fool an eye into believing it was fully round. All right, now for the part I've been putting off. Come on, stupid camera. Now you walk funny, huh, Kevin? Okay. Always walked funny. Yep, a little wire brushing, which I need to do here in a moment anyway. Because supposedly made of tool steel or stainless steel, but by the amount of rust on them, I'd say tool steel. Move fast here, I think. Little straightening there, little flattening there. Little brushing, although the forging pretty much took off all the scale. put it? Oh, I see where I put it. Let's go ahead and put it back over here for a second. We'll keep that out. We're going to need it. There we go. My tiny little spoon. Good. Moisture hasn't gotten in there. I don't need it that hot. We'll let the anvil suck some of that heat out. See if I can get a little on there before it reforms. Nice glassy look on it. See if I can actually bend it in this situation. I can. All right. Holding on to it to be able to hit it, that's not the smart move. If it welds, it welds. If it doesn't weld, it won't weld, whatever. But we're going to give it the old college try. Little more mass to move the mass. We'll come back to that one in a minute. Right? If Congress, if con is the opposite of pro, and then Congress has to be the opposite of progress. What? Oh no. Did my internet die? Let me check my iPad. It's probably just too warm sitting where it was sitting. Let me move it somewhere better. It's getting a good signal still. So no idea. We'll put it over this way. But yeah, it is bouncing between 0 . All right, so now it seems like it's supposed to be good. Hopefully you guys will see that here in a second. All right. Now, the question is whether or not this machine can even get to forge welding temperature. That is probably more, well more than enough flux. Now we just let it soak in there for a minute. And see where we get with forge welding temp. All right, are we? Yeah, we're back. Good. I don't expect to need any more big, dumb, the dumbest AI ever. That's what I get. I actually only spent something like $20 for this thing. So I shouldn't, I'm not really complaining. At this point it's confused because it only sees a back, not a face. There we go. If it sparkles, it welds. Yeah, I know, but in a gas forge? We'll see. I should have fired up the, I mean, it looks like it has the right type of flame in there to be able to pull it off. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. I probably can make it, force it to be a hotter flame if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah, that's a forced air, and this thing is supposed to be able to get to forge welding temp. So, not saying it won't, just haven't done it yet. It's definitely putting off some nifty color there. You guys can't see it from where you're at, but I put away the heavy hammer. Don't need a heavy hammer for this. I did buy, well, I should say my wife just bought me a couple of ball peen hammers. 24 ouncer and a 16 ouncer, I think. That was my first purchased ball peens that were actually to be used as a ball peen. Until I did buy this tiny little one, but it was strictly supposed to is to be used as a struck tool. This is a pretty light hammer, so I think it's lighter than any other hammer I have. Let me see. Yep. And my understanding is you don't want a heavy hammer when you're setting the tack. Let's get it out here and see if we can do that. Put it right back in there. Tell this poor camera where it's supposed to be shooting. Ball peens. Yes. I don't know what it goes searching for, that when I turn my back, it thinks, oh, let's look over there instead. Let's give a little tiny tappity tap tap. Nope, it's not welded. And no matter what, I guess I can't just add flux and make it into super glue. So I think I'm out of luck on the idea that this could weld. I think I will put a little more flux in there though and give it one more try. I don't see any gunk inside. That doesn't mean there isn't gunk inside, but I really think the real issue is either the material or the temp I'm getting the material up to. But at least now it's more lined up on top of each other. I'm going to lay it near the heat, not in the heat right this second. So I get for putting it away. That was ineffective. All right. Yep, get back here. Okay, it liquefied. If it's going to do any good, it's done the good. There we go. All right. I don't think that there's anything in there to drive out, but if there is, that'll help. What's really funny is I have seen folks forge weld rusty material. Now every welder out there knows clean your material, even of mill scale, before trying to do any welding. And yet, Vandermeer, is that his name? Joey has done some really hinky forge welds that work. So, I don't know. Probably the material he was working with to begin with. Yeah, I suspect it is a type of stainless as well, Rob. Like I said, it was very shiny. So we'll just leave it in the fire for a bit and hang out here. Brazing rather than welding. Interesting idea. There's also nothing that says, I didn't tell anybody that you couldn't actually do welding in this project. So, Vandersteeg, that's it. Thank you. So Yamez has done some really hinky forge welds as well, huh? I haven't seen those. Ah, I've watched a lot of Big Dog, but I must have missed that one. Biggest problem is I never can sit still long enough to watch too many live streams. Even watching Alexis, Adam, and Yamez, I'm doing that while I'm feeding the chickens. Yeah, I'm going to buy some Iron Mountain Flux. I've heard nothing but good about the outcomes with Iron Mountain Flux. It's sort of a cheat code for forge welding. I'm just glad I didn't forge the stalks any thinner than I did. They just burn right off if I had. Amount of heat I'm trying to throw at the area only 3.5, 4 inches away from them. They're getting all the exit heat from the dragon's breath. Ah, okay. Just a cleaner weld is an easier weld. I bet it's a stronger weld too. Yeah, watching them is befitting of feeding chickens, huh? Uh-oh, I'm out of coffee. I wonder if Jared's watching. Tell him to send me out a soda. It's too hot to be out here without some. I'm going to be switching. I'm going to get to the season where I have to switch back to the hand-cranked forge instead of this propane forge. This propane forge is great when you want to do production work. But man, it puts out the heat, especially when you're standing right in front of it. And you want to be standing right in front of it, right? Because you want to be able to grab from it, turn around, work on the anvil. But wow. Not yet. I was looking forward to watching that after this show, Rob. It seems like an absolutely ridiculous thing to do, but it also seems like it'd be a fun video, which of course, you know, is exactly what Roy's been up to lately. I'm sure he's doing all sorts of productive stuff, but his videos are definitely just for the fun of it. Torch and arc welding. Interesting. Okay. Thanks, Jay. Tell your brother to send me out something to drink. That's my other son, Jacob. I didn't know you would jump on here from time to time. Did you wish Christina a happy Mother's Day? Wish your mother? And I know better than to ask that question. That's just starting a war. I just flipped it over. Though the fire brick should be bouncing back some of the heat, I just flipped it over to share the love of a hot torch. And speaking of welding classes, Jake is my welder. He took those classes. He hasn't come over and taught Dad much, but he took the classes. He's qualified. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Christ-Centered Ironworks is putting on a faceplate which tickles me, but we'll see how that goes. It's like I'm barbecuing an escargot. Just rotating it on the Barbie. Roy who? Oh, it's an old video. I missed that one then. Oh, you know what? That just came up into my For You type recommendation recently. I thought it was a new video. Alright, so now I know it's not going to be in my latest subscriptions and thing. I wonder if he actually added it to his, what do you call it? The ridiculousness YouTube added to try and compete with TikTok and Instagram that I never look at. I don't go to YouTube for those. And I'm being stodgy about it. Freaking kids on my lawn. Yep, there you go. It was a short. I suspected as much. Alright, if it's going to... I mean, I can't imagine that that metal's going to get any hotter at this point. It's been in there a while. We'll go with the recommended 3 times. Even if it hasn't forge welded, it's not going to hurt to do it. Three attempts. Ah, you know, it's got to be good to have a Jess that likes to play with the video stuff. That makes a lot more sense. I thought he just went out there and grabbed some old stuff and decided to create some new content with it. You know, old anvil and new content. Because I knew the Vivor was last year type video. He did the Vivor and the Achayo more recently. So, or maybe it was the other way around. Oh, my son loves me.
I was confused at first because Jake texted.
Oh, Jake texted you too?
Yeah, I was like, why did Jake text me? I guess he
Jake loves me.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's been hanging out with me today. I needed that. So anybody doing something fun with their mother or wife that has mothered their kids? Well, AT&T is just giving me some of the bounciest. But fortunately, I'm not doing so. I'm not Super Action Man today. Ah. Oh, yeah, I'm in the same boat, Daniel, except I'd have to dig mine up. Life goes on, doesn't it? Just not for everybody. None of us are immortal. Better leave some good impressions, or you're probably going to be forgettable. And that's not always the worst thing either. I think that for me, loving and being loved now is more important than being remembered. I think there's a lot of folks that get that backwards. I don't mind being forgotten to time. They might be readying for a follow-up vid. When he runs into the wall, like Wile E. Coyote leaves an impression, or So, a quick question for y'all. Got these beautiful new hammers, right? I don't plan on using the face of this hammer all that much. I might dress the edges of it a little bit. I plan on using the ball peen side of it more, right? And put it up here where it can be seen. Ball peen side of it, not the face. Could use some dressing here if I were to use the face much. And I may do that just in case there's a good reason to flip back and forth. But what about the handles? This lacquer on here I've heard is not much use. And there's this nasty sticker that these things come with. What do people do to get that off of their hammers? Snow angel, but in dirt. All right, let's pull it back out there and give it a couple more tippity taps. Again, we're not trying to move metal at this point. I'm just trying to convince some atoms that they should share some space. I don't think it's welding, but we'll do the one more and be done with it. We'll start forging it into a taper. I don't think it's vital that it's welded. The kids that are going to play with the toy aren't going to try and pry it apart. So, not awful. You guys, so you'll flip it more often than you think. Okay, sand the handle, treat it with, okay. Sounds good. I don't have any boiled linseed oil. I'll just probably use regular linseed oil. And the reason I keep regular around is it's food grade safe, whereas boiled isn't. But as far as delacquering the handle, sanding's the easiest way to go then. I was. So I've got one here, the one that's my favorite. He, where'd you go? Dummy. I turned my back for a second. He did the torch treatment on it, and then it feels like it might have some oil, soaked in on it. The one that you are the dumbest camera. I swear. The hammer that I got from Harbor Freight, the engineer's hammer, I torched it, but I don't think after I sanded it. I sanded it and then I torched it, basically to burn off the anything that, any splinters, but it looks nice too. But I don't think I ever got around to putting any oil on it. So, okay. I mean, I could definitely turn up the pressure on the gas, and I could open up the air more so it pulls more in. Let me, it's not like I don't have the professional regulator out here to turn things up. Get that dragon's breath really baking my back. I do understand that the ones that the folks use on Forged in Fire have a humongous dragon's breath explicitly because they're pouring so much fuel through them to get up to the temps necessary to do forge welding. Now, of course, I could open up the air inside and not have as much dragon breath, but then more scale could form. But I think that makes for a hotter fire, right? More air? I always am confused by which direction I should do with this. More air and therefore hotter, I think, makes a hotter fire. Oh yeah, it definitely makes a hotter fire. Holy crap. My understanding it also can make more scale, but wow. That's getting into colors I probably shouldn't stare at. That's the lemon color I was looking for before. I'm not a pro, no, not even close to a pro. Pro at hurting your Corvette. A scrape iron, huh? So I'm going to have to go back and watch a Roy video to see if I can understand what you're saying there. Ah, snap. Really? I'm coming up on 2 hours already? Can't be. Guess this is going to take 2 weeks to get done. I am such a inefficient blacksmith, huh? Dumbass camera. Artificial intelligence, artificial ignorance. Nope. No forge welding happening for me. No forge welding for you. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call this done for the week. Because I'm going to try forge welding again, but not in the gas forge. I'm going to turn on I'm going to break out the coal next week, and we're going to try it one more time. And by we, what I mean is I, obviously. But I kind of feel like it's a we thing. You guys help me think through problems and help me with my education. Point me in to smart people who know things more than I do. And in general, make a far more enjoyable time out here in the shop than what it would be if you didn't join me. So yeah, I'd say it's a we. And besides, I get to blame you guys when it all goes wrong. Oh, wait a minute, that's not how that works, is it? Oh well. All right. This week, I remember to turn off the gas. Don't be like me, people. Yep, there's my 5-minute warning. I'll spend the 5 minutes just idly chatting and putting stuff away. We'll go ahead and just brush this off real quick. I mean, it's ready to be forge welded. It just wasn't going to do it today in that heat. And it also could very well be just the material I'm using, at which point maybe it is. I just break out the welder and do it the modern way. They didn't say we couldn't use a welder this month. It doesn't matter because I'm not able to win this month anyway. I just want to turn out something cool that I can hand my grandkids. I'll tell you what though, those stalks did come out really nice. I'm not going to have to do anything more with those. Just position them. And then I got to take this and wrap it all the way back. My intention, and now I'm starting to think, I still don't have enough. Still didn't bend it in the right place. Well, I'll think about it more. Anyway, my intention is to coil this up. I know that they normally coil backwards, but I think I want to coil it up. more cartoony. And that'll make it so that when I'm done, the head, I'll end up pivoting up this way. I don't know. I'll think about it as I do it. All I really want to forge is this like 1 inch here at the end. 1 inch. That's all I'm looking to get. And then the rest of this will end up becoming part of the coil. So that's the goal. Put that away. See if we can convince the camera to stay with my face for a little bit. Putting on there. Putting that away. So I got back on my horse and rode it in. We'll go ahead and finish up a snail next week, and hopefully get started on a little figurine of a vulture next week to be finished up the final week of the month. So, and you know, all I have to say for all you guys, yes, return to the coal fire next week. That's right, it's a joint effort. The magic blue flame welder. Maybe by next week I can have a thing of what is that called again? The mountain forge, mountain flux. Not Blue Mountain. I know which one I'm thinking of, but I'll find it again. Have it here next week just to make it a little bit easier to do. I don't know. Anyway, until next week, folks. You know, protect your Gorfit and love and light.